In this video, I am fired up. Today, the Financial Times dropped an article, and none other than Brad Garlinghouse lays the smackdown. Let's go.
And now, the XRP Minute with Chip on the chain.
Chip here with the XRP Minute. Let's dive into this puppy, into the shallow end, head first, making a mark. So today, the Financial Times put out an article. I wanted to just jump to the screen real quick here. Let's take a look at this. So I saw Crypto Eddie put out this today, and it was like after I commented on this, Jeff from On the Chain had hit me with the article as well. So it was just a microsecond there. And basically what it says is, we are a capitalist. We own a lot of XRP, he said. So do I care about the overall XRP market? 100%. Brad Garlinghouse in an article that the Financial Times just published. And one of the amazing things is Crypto Eddie said, the article has some splashes of cold water, and did it ever? And that was a nice way to put it, because I would have said splashes of BS. Not going to say it here, but that's exactly what it was. A lot of splash of that. I'm going to scroll down right here and tell you what my comment was. Splashes of cold water, haha emoji, another typical article. Oh, poor Ripple. They can't find a use case, and nobody likes them because they're close to banks. Boo-hoo. Ridiculous? Yes. Predictable? Absolutely. And I have the little tiny violin playing. Oh, you poor thing. So let's jump over to the article here. Let's take a look at this. With 16 billion in cryptocurrency, Ripple attempts a reset. What? The startup is still trying to find compelling uses for the blockchain technology underpinning in its XRP currency. Now, this was about as far as I had really gotten in this article before I kind of knew what was prefacing, right? The reset, poor Ripple, they can't do anything, and it jumps into San Francisco startup Ripple can lay claim to having created one of the most valuable cryptocurrencies, its digital tokens known as XRP. They have a total value of almost 30 billion behind only Bitcoin and Ether. But 8 years after launch, Ripple's still trying to find a compelling use for the blockchain technology underpinning its currency that would justify such a high figure. Now, in an effort to draw more users, it has struck out in a new direction to try to become the Amazon of the cryptocurrency world, using its platform to support activities far beyond the original cross-border payment system it had hoped to build. What to build? What are these guys on? Seriously, did they ever do their homework? Never. Hope to build? No, built. The popularity of XRP has already made Ripple and its leaders far richer than most startup software companies. The company has cashed in more than 1.2 billion of its own holdings of the cryptocurrency since 2017. Yeah, did they mention the fact that Ripple is valued at $10 billion? It really is a unicorn. It's not really a startup anymore. You know, when you cross from startup, usually past the first 5 years, you've gone way past the whole idea of a startup concept. So it's also sitting on about 55% of the total supply, worth around $16 billion at current prices, far overshadowing its underlying technology business. As a result, the current prices is far overshadowing. As a result, the value of the company is tied mainly to the XRP, with an option on a small software business, said one former executive, Brad Garlinghouse. And they get into a quote right here. They go past, I'm not going to read the whole entire thing, but they come into the battle to win over the banks. Ripple's original aim was to build a more efficient wholesale cross-border payment system, has made slow headway with the banks that were original target for the technology. So basically, a lot of the stuff going on in this article is just complete nonsense. And it comes from somebody probably who has done very little, read a couple snippets here and there, saw Brad Garlinghouse's post about they want to be the Amazon of payments, and all of a sudden they put 2 and 3 and 7 and they get some wacky number, and that's exactly what we're seeing right here. So it goes on and blah blah blah. Cryptocurrency sales stall, blah blah blah. Ripple said that Santander is still using some of its software. You see where they're going with this thing? They still use it, some of it. Oh, one of our largest and most important customers. The company also claims that a high growth rate for the XRP facility is at the heart of its system. Though it does not provide absolute figures, it also says many banks are using. So they're purporting here that Yeah, they say that they might be using them, right? This is kind of way they're going with this whole thing. It's like Uber trying to disrupt the taxi industry by working with a taxi, said Michael Arrington. He's the founder and TechCrunch news site, now at the $100 million cryptocurrency hedge fund, I should say. Mr. Garlinghouse blames uncertainty in the U.S. over whether the XRP tokens should be regulated as securities for discouraging more companies, blah, 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 blah. This is just insane, this article. And you can see why I went where I did with my response to this whole thing. It goes on. Here we go with the Amazon of payments. Ripple also handed out hundreds of millions of dollars to stimulate wider uses of blockchain technology. A year ago, it said it had distributed the equivalent of more than 500 million, much of it in the form of XRP, through its Spring Fund, and as a way to seed new applications that use blockchain technology and might indirectly benefit Ripple in the long run. Yeah, it might benefit them, but it benefits the entire ecosystem of what there are many use cases for that Ripple's putting out there as far as XRP, and we're starting to see it. As a matter of fact, we just saw Flare Networks bringing smart contracts to XRP and also making them interoperable with smart contracts and other platforms such as the Ethereum blockchain, which is famous for putting together smart contracts. So they're bringing this, and that's going to be huge. So there's all kinds of use cases. So they go on and on. It's included handing $260 million worth of cryptocurrency to Coil, a startup building a decentralized online media marketplace where creators can sell directly to consumers. So it's exactly spot on. So they get some of this stuff right, but it's the kind of the way, the smarky way that behind this, where they're kind of like Ripple's doing this and Ripple's doing that, and they kind of wish they could, and they tried to, and all these funny kind of words that they're doing here, which I find to be complete BS. So none other than Brad Garlinghouse lays the smackdown. So Brad just put this out. He puts out, my favorite skeptics are active today. Financial Times, Nathaniel Popper, who's the guy that wrote the article. Ripple has absolutely no plans to reset our strategy. Using XRP to solve a real-world $10 trillion problem like cross-border payments is working. So there you go. Brad, you heard it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Brad had to come out about this. He had to slap this down because it's really ridiculous. And of course, this article had been making the rounds today on Twitter and all over the place, being shared all over the place. And he's basically saying, look, we're out to solve a $10 trillion problem, cross-border payments. Did you see him deviate? Does that seem different than what the article was saying? So let's go back to his next one. So he put out a thread on this, and he links to the article right here, and he says, number 2 here, he says, I'll let the data speak for itself. Let's tear into these numbers. ODL product that uses XRP, of course he has to say that because maybe Mr. Popper's not that familiar, but ODL, on-demand liquidity, the product that uses XRP has accounted for more than 2 billion in transactions since its launch. Let me say that again. More than 2 billion in transactions since ODL was launched. Oh, when was ODL launched? Oh yeah, it was a year ago, if we remember, at Swell. That's when they announced it, right? We haven't even gone 12 months yet, and already it's accounted for more than 2 billion in transactions. The on-demand liquidity, or ODL volume, grew 11 times year over year, comparing H119 with H120 versus 20. That's amazing, right? So 11 times. So Brad's putting the smack down here. He's not sitting back going, let me see if someone like the Financial Times can put an article out there and trash our company and put out some falsehoods. And he says, number 3 here, in less than 3 years, we processed 2 billion plus in transactions on RippleNet with a notional value of 7 billion plus. Okay, 7 billion plus in 3 years on RippleNet. What I love about what Brad's doing here is he's keeping it real. He put a lot in this thread. I mean, you only have so many characters here, and he basically put 3, bam, 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 right in the face. So he gets into his third one here. He says over 24 customers are on board with ODL. Who are they? Well, they're MoneyGram, GoLance, Vi Americas, Flash FX, Asimo, and the list goes on. And you and I both know that that list is a nice long one. And we also know there's 300 plus partners of Ripple. And he goes on to say that number 4, Nathaniel Popper P.S. and I love this. This is my favorite part of the whole thread. Well, aside from the numbers, he says, P.S. Nathaniel Popper, for future reference, a quick fact check, and in keeping with the NYT standards, New York Times standards, right? That would mostly refer back to the standards themselves. My Twitter handle is bgarlinghouse, not at Brad Garlinghouse. Boom! Slap down the hammer, lay it down, and that's the way it goes. Well, I absolutely love seeing this right here, because that's what Brad is all about. He's not going to sit back and lay back and watch someone lay some false claims about the company Ripple. Not going to happen. If it's your first time here, you know what to do. Go down below. Leave a comment. Also, I want you to click that subscribe button. Click that little bell. That way you'll get notified when new videos drop. Also, there's another link down there to our live channel. We do live streams. Jeff and I on the chain special. We have different people on all the time. And I really want to thank you for being here. I really appreciate your support of the channel. And let's get out there, digital warriors. Get keyboard warriors. Let's share the heck out of this, and let's smack down that FUD, because it is everywhere, it's pervasive, and you know every time something big is about to happen, what do we get? We get more fear and loathing. That's it. That's all I got. That's my take. What's yours? Let me know down below. This is Chip, and I am out of here. I'll see you on the next one.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.